afternoon and welcome to another episode of the Star Wars Minute. It's your daily show in which we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate The Last Jedi one rainy minute at a time. I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I'm Ralph Attanasia. That's all you need to know.
Welcome back, Ralph.
Thank you. I feel welcome.
We're talking
and
about
for those of you who aren't listening to this in the afternoon, good morning.
Good night. We're talking about minute 53 of The Last Jedi. Minute 53 starts off with Finn revealing that the fleet only has 18 hours of fuel left before they run out of fuel. And it ends a minute later with Kylo Ren asking Rey if Luke revealed what happened.
First, let me say I love a rainy minute because I have to make that reference. But this gets to my, I don't let it bother me. I'm not going to dislike the movie because of the logical inconsistencies as much as there are other things that I'm sure, you could poke holes in any of the movies that I like.
No, impossible.
You
can? You can. You can just take it and you go...
Poor souls.
But it is kind of weird that it's like fleet only has 18 hours of fuel left. Like, let's go somewhere else and then come back and not bring any fuel or not bring anybody that could refuel them.
If you can send people off the ship. Also, so I know that they can do, I guess they could do light speed tracking or whatever in the movie, right? That's the problem that they're like, well, if we jump to light speed, they'll just go there too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go to where there's more guys.
Right. Well, granted, part of the problem is that this is it for the resistance. They're down to this narrow little group of fighters. This is they've
guess.
Been, they're almost down to nothing, but still, there have to be at least places where you can get gas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this might be my least favorite thing about the movie is this, well, we can't go any faster, but we also can't catch, we're both going the same speed, we're just equidistant.
Right.
Well, that's...
If you notice, they actually fly by the same couch and end table like 20 times during the course of the
Right,
movie.
It's a Garfield hallway. And
right.
They
The Hanna-Barbera system.
Right, yeah.
Not much there.
I remember when I was a kid and hearing, I was watching some show. I feel like it was The Incredible Hulk, the TV, the Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno vehicle.
Sure.
And I remember them saying something like, "Oh, we have 24 hours before this happens." And when I was a kid, I was like, 24 hours? You could do anything in 24. Like, that seemed like such a huge amount of time to try to get yourself out of a situation that I was like, that seems like, how could you not do anything in 24 hours? Now, of course, now that I'm an old man, I'm like, that's like nothing. That's like 24 hours. Like, all right, forget it then. I'm done.
Now as an adult, you can be busy all day for 24 hours and not accomplish anything.
Yeah. So I'm sure if I was a kid and they said 18 hours, who knows what's going to happen in 18 hours.
The fleet has 18 hours of fuel left. It'd be like, all right, let's go play.
Yeah, totally.
So there's a lot. This is a very dense minute. Like we go to several different places. A lot of different stuff happens, but all I'm going to talk about is porgs.
Oh yeah. So we get to the Falcon where we see porgs have infested the ship.
Well, I'm going to be the sriracha of this this minute and only talk about porgs.
I wrote
Dyadsters.
I wrote Porg Nest, and then I wrote Porg Nest Borgnine.
Oh.
And I wasn't sure.
If you had said Porg Nest Urnine, I would have been with you, which is also my Star Wars name now.
There you go.
I great Tuckerization.
Put it with a question mark so we could workshop it before we throw it out there to the world.
I like it.
All right. Porg Nest Urnine.
So Ralph, you're pro Porg, I'm guessing.
Listen, I love little creatures.
And these you don't do you think I like porgs a lot. I think there's maybe like 10% too much porg. Maybe 15 in the movie. I think they like a lot of things, they took it a little bit too far.
That's fair. I don't dislike them. I also I'm very pro Ewok as well. So
yeah.
But that's because the Ewoks are metal as hell.
They're robot bears. You mean
murder bears?
Robot murder bears?
No. Metal
murder.
Right.
Not robots. They are robots. Yes, and they're two robots. I've been learning about improv.
The Burbles were robot bears.
So the fact that we see the Porgs on the ship and they're already tearing it apart, they're ripping the lining of the seat there. It really makes me wish the Falcon looked more different inside than it does, considering that it's been 30 years since we've seen the inside of it. Like, if you look at like the Solo Lando's ship, and it looks totally different, and then basically the ship did not change at all, other than having a new radar dish. I just think it would have been cool to, and it would have implied more changes happened over time, and that certainly the Kane brothers and all those guys would have taken worse
Irving
care
boys,
of it.
Duquesne,
which the only thing we know that changed is they put some technobabble thing that Han didn't approve of.
Right, the compressor.
Yeah, the compressor.
Yeah, but that's not a visual cue, and you really should show and not tell.
Yeah, and
but people don't like change. People would have complained and been like, "Oh, why is there not a story about why the seat cushions are different? Oh, I have to read a comic book." Oh, like people would have complained about that.
I don't care if people complain about it. I want change.
I'm saying I don't care either. But people wanted. Oh, what? Something
why are you
happened?
taking their side? Why are you taking their side?
I'm not. I'm telling it. I'm throwing it out there to tell you why they didn't do it. Because anytime you do anything that's not fully explained, people are going to complain and be like, "Oh, what? I have to read a book to understand this."
Another toxic Star Wars fan right here.
And then if you do explain it, then it's not satisfactory, and they're just like, "Oh, like wait, we didn't need his backstory." It's like, yes, you did. You complained that you didn't have it.
Or if you do have a change, like C-3PO's red arm, please make sure that change is dispensed with as quickly as possible.
That's what I'm saying.
Apparently Golden Tony didn't like that. So
Remember, C-3PO's arm and the return of Palpatine are two things that are just like, it bugs me that people like, I don't know, when people complain about
half right.
Yeah, like I don't care about C-3PO's arm. He's constantly being ripped apart and put back together.
Exactly.
His life is a nightmare.
Yeah. He should have been a head on wheels.
Yeah.
Rolling around like no body at all.
Palpatine, I understand people being upset about because there's not even a hint of that in these two movies. It like smacks of desperation.
Right.
I was so, well, again, we'll get to that in 2 years, but
yeah. You know what did bother me? I was reading the Visual Dictionary today, and according to the Visual Dictionary, once the Galactic Civil War was over, Han and Chewie drifted apart and went with their separate families.
No, I don't like that. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess families.
Right. They were off on their own. But then what happened then, like, when Han and Leia split up, did he just call Chewie and be like, "Hey, man, remember that life debt? I need you to come with me. I got a gig." And Han is like, Chewie was like, we're about to sit down for life day dinner.
Is Chewie still married in the new canon?
Yeah, I believe so.
In the Lego special, he was.
Well, yeah.
Well,
is that canon?
I feel like there were one or two other instances of acknowledging that is canonical. Let me do a quick background here.
Does he still live with his pervy father-in-law and his?
Surely he must be dead by now.
I don't know, man. Wookiees live a long time.
It's true, long time.
Mala has a canon section, so she is canonical appearances.
Does she?
It makes her very dangerous.
Force Awakens Visual Dictionary mentioned mentions Mala.
Wow.
And then there's a bunch of other aftermath, life debt, aftermath, Empire's End.
I just want to see the scene where Chewie has to like shamefacedly explain to Mala that he has to leave again because Han broke up with his wife, so he's got to leave his wife too.
Yeah,
like that.
Like, listen, it's only gonna be like I don't know a decade or two. He's very old. They don't live long. I'll be back.
I want to hear the song "Cat's Cradle," but about Chewbacca.
And Lumpy.
Chewbacca.
Well, I'm assuming is also canon.
When you're coming home, Dad, it won't be long. Humans have a real short lifespan.
Lumpawaroo.
I also like that in this scene where Rey's like, keep trying to reach the resistance and find out how Finn is and all that stuff. Yeah. And I just like the idea of someone picking up the phone and they hear like Chewbacca.
Another prank call.
I also like it's essentially like, well, keep trying them, and tell Finn I said hi.
Right. Like, see if you can get our weapons back.
Are you on the phone with Finn? Tell him Rey says hi.
I'm not here. If Finn calls.
Yeah. Why aren't they? I guess maybe that's it. I was going to ask why aren't they answering the call, but maybe it's it. Maybe they are.
Nobody
but Chewbacca,
wants to talk to Chewbacca.
Yeah, they're picking up and Chewbacca's shouting and they don't understand him.
They have like the hold. There's just Chewie listening to the hold music, which would be like Leia's theme, a jazzy interpretation of Leia's theme.
Either that or they do understand Chewbacca. Like, they speak Shriwook. It's just Chewie's stories are interminable.
We just don't like him personally.
Like, he gets on and he's like, so I'm here. We're on it's an island. We came to the island from space. We were in the spaceship first, and we landed. We went to a planet and we landed there. We landed on the island from space. Well, first through the atmosphere from space, then to the island. And the other like, oh my god.
It's like the Californians. He's like, oh, we took a hyperspace jump to Ithor, and then we turned and we went on Sullust, and then we went on Sullust for a bit and turned and he's just going off about his route because he's the navigator co-pilot. And you're like, okay, but keep going. You get to the end.
They're like puffins. Do you know what a puffin?
Hey, you guys tried these porgs? They're delicious. I'll bring some back for you.
That's what he's on the phone. He's like, okay, so put that in the oven for 40 minutes. In the meantime, you got to mix up some breadcrumbs.
Yeah. The trick is 10 minutes before you're done, crank the heat all the way up.
I just think that it would have been a very Muppety gag, but like, it would have been great if by the end the Falcon was entirely filled up with porgs, like, or tribbles. I guess that would be like,
right,
exactly.
They're totally filled up the entire ship with porgs. They're pooping everywhere.
They're cute. I love the way Jim Cummings says Porg when he's doing Hondo. It's like, Porg. It sounds very.
Do they have porgs in any of the?
No, I think I told you guys about this the last time I talked to you. There's a Hondo like YA novel, but Jim Cummings reads the entire audiobook in Hondo's voice.
Wow, that's like a whole nother level to it.
It's delightful,
and porgs are in it.
Yes, and he says Porg every day. Like, it's just he's another one who is a treasure. Jim Cummings and John Williams. He's yet another one that I hope pops up in either Book of Boba Fett or Obi-Wan.
Hondo specifically, or just any?
Yeah, Hondo.
Hondo has to. Given that Filoni's hands are all over the Mandalorian.
Oh my god! If they do an Obi-Wan Kenobi, like a Shobi-Wan Kenobi, and Hondo doesn't show up.
During the Mandalorian, there's a scene where I think it was in the first season where there's two like just random bodyguards who get killed by somebody, and I was thinking that would be great if that was like Hondo, like he just dies in some like meaningless conflict where like because that's those guys had lives too. They were people,
right?
But
it'd be so tragic because he's very old at that point. If he's still around, like he's an elderly man to just get taken out so unceremoniously would make me sad.
Yeah. What's the deal with the Borg Porg there? There's like a Porg and it has like
I saw that. He's got like a LaForge.
Yeah.
Well,
a LaForge Porg.
he's kind of just going through, like, he's trying to nest in the console essentially, right? So it's all like wiring from the Falcon. It
seems really dangerous.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. They do a lot of dangerous stuff. They're not smart.
Yeah. Porg's on board.
Yeah. Is that do they make that? They have to have that, right? They sell a little yellow.
I don't know. They have those little suction cup Garfield Porgs for the window.
That's the 10% that I think is too much. But
well, agree to agree.
Yeah.
But do they have a Porg on board? Yellow Rhombus. Let us know. If not, StarWarsMinute.com/merch. Let's.
If only you knew an artist.
at the who is answering Rey's call is Kylo Ren, right? Doesn't that start at the end of this?
Yes.
They get connected.
And he asks her if Luke told her what happened.
Right.
Yes.
Well, before he says, "Why is the Force connected?" This is a kind of a similar. The first time this happened, their roles are similar. Where Rey is still upset about the Han Solo thing, and Kylo Ren is just kind of like, "All right, so wait a minute. If I talk, you can hear me there." He's like interested in the tech of the call. He's like, "Oh, okay, wait a minute." It's like, and she's, he's like, "Why is the Force connecting us?" And she's like, "Murderous snake, I'm gonna kill." He's like, "Okay." So when I shout, I can hear you, but if it's, it's like, "Can you see my background?" He's like, totally just like, I
like how the two places they are kind of echo each other a little bit, and also are opposite-y, because like she's out in a natural place and there's water dripping down. He's in like a very like industrial space, and there are sparks raining down in kind of like the same sort of way. And the height of like the window he's in front of sort of looks like they're framed very similarly.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That's good film stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's, even when, and this is part that I do like, but even in the parts that I don't like, it usually at least looks neat in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to call attention to the fact that the window he's staring at seems to be some kind of like all-terrain armored transport, like factory or warehouse or something. If you look, you can see there's ATSTs walking around, and there's a bunch of walkers that are kind of like.
And those, you can the
you
big
seem like you don't like it, Ralph.
Walkers are back there.
You don't like it?
That's another thing that like that there's just stuff in these movies that's lazy and frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the. Again, like I said, I like that shot. I like how this scene is set up. But like those big gorilla AT-ATs, I could not care less.
I did not like them being in especially since we just saw them in Rogue One. I was like, oh, walkers again? But like, if you have to have a background, I would have liked to just see them in this background shot. They should have had something different at the end, but this would have been a nice little Easter egg plot hole thing.
And then when you first saw like images of these like big gorilla fisted walkers, I was like, oh, maybe they do something different.
Yeah,
like maybe they climb some. Yeah, exactly. Like maybe they've made it interesting, but no, it's just big mechanical donkeys again, but with monkey arms. They're just It's
like the Death Star 2, just the same thing. Just
I don't care. How can you be so creatively bankrupt when you have so many talented artists of every kind working on these films, and then go, but that big rectangle robot though, let's do that more.
I wonder how much of it, like where that decision is made. Was Rian Johnson like, we have to have Imperial Walkers here? Or was it a matter of like they designed something else and then the higher ups were like, well, we need something that's a little bit more evocative of the original film?
Was it like, hey, we made a bunch of these for Rogue One and nobody bought them, so it's like Hasbro being like, can we throw that in the movie somewhere?
All we have to do is change those front paws and we could sell it as a totally different toy.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I understand wanting to have a visual through line. I understand having consistency so that the world building remains consistent and you feel like you're still in Star Wars, but like you can do it without everything just being TIE fighters that are a little, that have the colors inverted, and X-Wings that are a little different. Like, it's
I think
okay
we should
to
have
let
had them
things
be like
grow.
a centipede or something.
Oh, that would have been cool!
Screw it, 6 legs. We're going 6 legs for this one.
Going back to 6 legs, like the Clone Wars.
Yeah, exactly. So, I feel that way about a lot of the spaceships as well. We didn't really talk about the ship that Finn and Rose are flying in. Also notice Finn now suddenly knows how to pilot a ship. But
he wasn't a pilot before.
But I feel like the ships in the Disney era are, with the exception maybe of the V-Wing in Rogue One, I feel like they're all very
U-Wing.
U-Wing, there you go.
Yeah, I like the U-Wing.
They're all very kind of either very similar or just boring looking. So, sorry.
I don't know. I think
Razor Crest is good. Although I guess technically that was a prequel era design, I think.
So it's meant to be evocative of a prequel era design.
Okay.
But it's not actually a specific prequel era ship.
Okay. So, well, there you go. So I feel like that one was a better looking. That's the best of the Disney era, I think. the razor crest.
I would agree.
God rest its soul.
Oh, yeah, it did. It got blown. Well, spoilers if you haven't been watching The Mandalorian. Right. Does this mean we can finally talk about The Mandalorian instead of this movie? This is the way I bring that up.
Oh, look at that. I've really cooled on The Mandalorian quite a bit since it aired.
Whoa.
I don't want to talk to you.
I feel like I got, the more I thought about it, the more disappointed I was in how it ended, that it was like, really was opening up a whole new world of fun stuff. And then it was just like, nah, just Boba Fett and Luke Skywalker. Just, there's that old stuff that you like. It's like, no, show me the new stuff. Show me more frog people.
I love that. I want more of that Mon Cal in the sweater.
Yeah. Like all that, it was opening up new worlds, and it was just like, just kidding. It's Boba Fett, and here's Luke Skywalker, and it's,
Well, here's something I liked.
Yes.
Focusing more positive. I like the scene of Rey when she's under the Falcon and she puts her hand out to touch the rain. Mm-hmm. Nice little callback to the fact that she comes from a planet where rain is not a frequent thing. So I like that little...
She's like, this must be more dark side trying to get me. I'm going to hide.
Yeah, this is like that bad hole that sprayed me.
Right, yeah.
I will say it's refreshing to see somebody... There aren't many characters who have that kind of joy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see Rey really just enjoying things around her in a way that you don't really see any other character, like many other characters in Star Wars do. Nobody's just happy to be where they are. Like, something simple like enjoying the storm around them is nice.
One exception I can think of.
Lay it on me.
The happiest character in all the Star Wars movies is Palpatine. He loves
I was going to say Salacious Crumb. That's true.
He does laugh a lot.
But yeah, no, nobody's having more fun than Sheev, man. Guess what? You'll never guess what I did. All your friends are going to die.
I like also when she calls him I don't know how you feel about Superman 2, Ralph, but we're big Superman 2 fans, where she calls him a murderous snake. Which reminds me of when Superman calls Luthor a treacherous snake in the end of Superman 2. Strange expression, treacherous snake.
Treacherous, or is it venomous? I think it's venomous.
Is it venomous?
I haven't seen Superman 2 since I was like 10 years old.
Luthor, you poisonous snake.
Poisonous snake. We're both wrong. So,
so that means you can't eat him.
That's true. If he were venomous, it would be fine, but he's poisonous, so eating him will kill you.
Boy, am I glad you guys explained that to me, because
I feel like Ralph explained that to me once before, and I might have been aware of it, but I feel like in my head when I make that distinction, I might think about Ralph.
That's possible. I am annoyingly pedantic. But that's why I'm on this show.
So does that mean like cobras are venomous?
Correct.
That uncertain, as long as you're careful to avoid the venom sacs, they're not poisonous.
Right. I imagine if you ate where their venom is, that would be poisonous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So like those fish that fish that Homer Simpson ate is both poisonous and venomous.
Could be.
Probably.
Somewhere there's like a herpetologist who is shaking his computer to pieces going, that's not how it works.
Yes, you poison a snake.
Or her.
So snakes exist in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, we've seen them.
I guess Yoda has a snake.
Yeah,
and like a ball python too. It's not even like an exotic snake. Yeah. And a green iguana.
Also, flash forward, here's Rey's evolution in Rise of Skywalker. The first time we see Force healing, what does she use Force healing on? A murderous snake.
Oh. So you think that's foreshadowing here when she says you murderous snake?
With the murderous snake.
It's tough, but like that, I know she says murderous snake, but all I hear is Severus Snape, especially because it cuts to Driver with like that haircut, dressed in black, going, yes.
He's very blasé at this point. He's just very calm, about this whole thing.
If granted, I don't think you should ever make prequels to things because I can think of none of them that are good. But if you were going to do a movie about young Snape, you could cast Adam Driver in that role. Alex is furiously trying to think of a good prequel. I can see it on his face.
No, I agree. I was trying. I was trying to think
Part 2, the good parts of the prequel parts, but
that's a good call.
But that's a flashback. That's not a prequel.
Yeah, that movie has that's part of the.
Yeah, most of the movie is set in the present.
If you had taken out the present parts and just released the prequel parts as a movie, I might like it more. So
wait, just release the prequel or just release
release the prequel as its own movie.
I want to know if you count, Ralph. Do you count like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom as a prequel?
I don't like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
But or for that matter, Last Crusade, because those both take place before Raiders. So
wait, Last Crusade takes place before? No, it doesn't. Does it?
Crusade is after Raiders by a bit.
Sorry,
I was.
Because they even he makes the joke about when they're going through, and she's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Ark of the Covenant." Ark of the Covenant. She's like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Pretty sure."
Wait,
yeah.
Are you talking about Crystal Skull?
No, both happen after. It just Raiders.
They do a reference to the Ark in Last Crusade 2 also.
Last Crusade 2.
On the movie.
Who is this amusing for? I have a hard time imagining that there is still an audience at this point in this episode. Whoa, wait a minute.
But I agree that there are.
Oh no!
I can't think of any good prequels. Other than Revenge of the Sith, of course.
I don't like you.
Fair enough.
That has nothing to do with your opinions on Revenge of the Sith. You just felt like that was a good point to bring that in.
No, that was unfair. I like you very much. I dislike that movie. I think the prequels just get worse as they go.
Fair enough.
But that's okay. It's okay that you like it.
We're two Star Wars fans who can have differing opinions and
That's
yet
correct.
Still speak to each other in a civil way.
Yeah. Look, as long as you like Star Wars, that's the important thing. I don't care if the only thing you like, I don't care if you're someone who the only thing you like about Star Wars is that Resistance series and Attack of the Clones. You're like, nope, that's the Star Wars I like. Good.
I would love to meet someone. I would actually love to meet someone like it because I would just want to get inside their head and be like,
yeah. But also, good. You're like, my favorite Star Wars characters are Ezra Bridger and Jar Jar Binks. As long as you like Star Wars, man, good.
Yeah.
Well, minute 53. What else we got for this one? Anything else?
We haven't talked about this minute at all.
I said Porg Nest or 9, and I think that's all we needed to say.
Yeah, we could have stopped it there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jonas does a good Chewbacca.
I like. He's very good at channeling Mayhew's like body language, and like he really inhabits the role.
Mm-hmm.
I've also gotten over the fact that he doesn't look correct. He doesn't look like a New Hope Chewbacca. He looks different, but I'm just like, well, Harrison Ford didn't look like a New Hope Han Solo either. So
yeah, he looks much better than prequel Chewbacca with like the dark eyes and I don't know how they got it so wrong.
Yeah,
or why he was in that movie.
I totally forgot about that.
I will miss you, Chewbacca. Like, no, nobody wanted
most of all.
Yeah, nobody.
Now we need a prequel explaining how they became such good friends.
That's what I'm saying.
With the Wookiees.
Yeah, that's true.
Move the story forward, or let it go. Don't make prequels.
Well, maybe we should let minute 53 go then. What do you guys say about that?
Sure.
I'm willing to do that, and if it comes back, then it was really mine
all along.
Mm-hmm.
Well, minute 53 might be done, but there's a lot more minutes out there, and you can find them by going to moviesbyminutes.com. That's where you'll find all of the Movies by Minutes franchise podcasts out there. If you like a movie that's beloved by nerds, chances are someone is doing a Movie by Minute podcast about it.
Yeah, you should check out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Minute. That's a great podcast. And if you like role-playing games, me and the cast of that one did a Ninja Turtles role-playing game podcast last year. It's a real blast. It's called Up From Below. It's a sequel that was never made that we play out as a game. It's a real fun.
Oh, cool.
It's a real fun.
Did they reveal the secret of the ooze?
Secret of the ooze is that it is goo.
Oh. Grogu. Star Wars Minute.
It was Grogu because they were very small turtles. Star Wars Minute.
I guess I'll also say Star Wars Minute.
Oh, gosh.